Good morning. How are you today? I write in my journal every day, and every day I find something that I won at in the last 24 hours. Life is full of ups and downs, and I don't know if your life is like mine, but there's more losses than wins. But that's okay. We don't need to win every day, every time, in every day. But there is certainly an an event in the last 24 hours that counts for you as a win. A number of years ago, Jim Riefenberger, a friend of mine, and I came up with a little product, a family devotional called Father's Wisdom. It was a series of 47 stories. I did them back here next to the stove, the theater of the mind, just audio stories about stories of my youth and other people I've met that were starting points for families to have conversations. So, 47, it'd be finances or, physical stuff, physical fitness, bullying, relationships, work, things like that. Things that you wish that you had known when you were a kid. And also, maybe you're wondering how I would even bring that up in a conversation. Kids, let me sit down and talk to you about work ethic, the lecture. I did a funeral for a guy who his son would say, his dad would walk in and say, "Are you ready for the lecture? Sit down. Are you ready? Are you buckled in? Because here comes the lecture. You ready for the lecture?" And then he would spout forth. Oh, we would love to be able to do that if only it would work. But you know what we hear is lectures and advice. Well, as you come to realize, it's seen as criticism, veiled criticism, or just plain old criticism. uh, uh. So, this is an elegant solution to that. It's a thumb drive. You can put it in the port of your vehicle. Most vehicles have these thumb drive ports. And you can dial it up on your speaker and you can say, "Hey, let's listen to this story. I want you to hear this story, hear what this guy has to say." And then it's me telling the story. Let's just say bullying would be one of the 47 topics. Let's hear what this guy has to say about bullying. And then you and your family listen together, and then you look at the kids. What do you think about that? And the story always has elements of, questions. Ask your parents, were they ever bullied? When, the kids are astonished. I mean, you were a child at some time? This is revelatory. And you say, yeah. And when you talk about, whatever kind of bullying you had. And then you have this interesting conversation where they would say, well, what did you do? And what you're doing then is you're giving advice and perspective that's wise according to your perspective. It's called Father's Wisdom. And because, ultimately all wisdom comes from God. And your job is to try to pour that into them when they're younger. Well, anyway, that's the program. And we thought, oh boy, we're gonna make millions on this. This is gonna be great. People are gonna love this. Huh. Well, as I said, advice is seen as criticism. So when I'd say, "Hey, do you want to listen to this thing about parenting tips?" They would go, "Well, okay, number one, I'm doing a great job. Number two, if I'm not doing a great job, I sure ain't going to admit it to you. And number three, I am busy, 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 busy." Now, you don't know how you're doing as a parent for years. It's going to take a while to figure it out. I mean, are you actually doing a good job? This is one of the puzzling things as a parent of young children. Now, afterwards, you go, "Wait a minute. I think we did pretty good." But you're not going to know that at the time. You're just trying to do your own strategy. So This product works best for people who are, in the parenting stages when their kids right around 7 to 10 years old. Well, that's a super busy time. And if they've made mistakes, they sure don't want to be told about it now. And how do they know if they're making mistakes? They're just living their lives. And they're busy because that's the same time you're trying to get your promotion, you're trying to get your work, you're trying to get your career, you're trying to live your own story. So anyway, long roundabout. There are people who look at this and go, and then they go home and don't do anything about it. So Libby teaches piano lessons to a young family. And the guy comes in, the dad, super nice guy, super busy, though. Busy. And I said, tell you what, here is something for you. I give him the thumb drive, and I said, now listen to me. I want this back in a week. You're probably not going to listen to it, but you should. Plug it into your truck. Listen to one story. That's all I want you to do. Listen to one story, and then give me the thumb drive back and give me the book, and I want it next week. Okay? You got 1 week. He said, all right, sounds good. Oh, yeah, I've heard that a million times. I said, okay. You got a thumb drive in your truck? Port? Yeah. Okay. Listen in the truck on the way home. That's my best advice, or you're going to forget. All right, sounds good. As he's looking otherwise. Okay. I am wasting time. I give it to him. And you're not going to believe this. But they did. They listened to 7 stories in the last week. Oh, that's a win. That is a win. You do the best you can. You're living your story. You're doing what God made you to do. In your day, look for proof that it's working. And write that down, because that's a W. That's a win. And that is worth celebrating. I'm Jeff Gould, America's Storyteller. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.